One of the epic performances in the annals of the sport.
At just 21 years old, Jordan Spieth looked like the future of golf, and not just a little bit better than everyone else. He looked different, like he actually belonged on the biggest stage in the world. He wasn't just winning, he was taking over. And for a moment, it felt like we were watching the next great legend. But just a few years later, everything changed. Spieth didn't come out of nowhere. Even early on, you could tell he had something special. He stayed calm when other players didn't. He made putts that didn't make sense, and mentally, he was way ahead of his age. Then came 2015, and that's when everything clicked. He won the Masters, then the US Open, and he almost won the Open Championship too. At 21 years old, he was already being talked about like one of the best in the world. For a while, it just worked. Everything. His confidence, his decision-making, his control under pressure. He wasn't the longest hitter out there. But it didn't matter, because when it came down to the moments that actually decide tournaments, Spieth delivered, and it really started to feel like golf had its next dominant star. Then came the moment that changed everything, the 2016 Masters. Spieth had the lead. He looked comfortable, in control, like he'd done it all before. But then, the back nine happened.
And it's on the camera?
Yep.
That's the one, it's a stock shot.
Yep. The camera they're referring to is about 20 feet left of the flag.
You don't want to be trying to play a little flick. Definitely want a three-quarter swing, and he's got a good angle because he's got the gap between the bunkers, so it's not going to scare him if he goes long. Oh my goodness, this is unbelievable. The Iron Man is now having an absolute meltdown.
Time and time again, we've talked about it.
Goodness, Frank. I mean, turns and walks to the 10th tee with, you know, how do we get our superlatives to totally?
You see the most double bogeys ever by a champion, Craig Stadler.
So best is a 7 now.
All in all, pretty good bunker shot.
Yeah.
Quadruple bogey.
A mistake, then another, and suddenly you could feel it slipping. The pressure started building, and he couldn't stop it. One of the most shocking collapses in golf history, and it all happened in real time. And from that moment on, things were different. After that, he never quite looked the same, not completely. There were flashes, moments where you could see the old Spieth, but they didn't last. One week he looked like a champion again. The next he was struggling to find it. And as the years went on, people started asking the same question. Was that version of Spieth just temporary? But players like that don't just disappear, not completely. And slowly, he started finding something again. Better finishes, more confidence, a little more control. It wasn't the same dominance, but it was enough to remind people who he is. Because the story of Jordan Spieth was never just about winning. It's about how fast everything can change, how even the best can lose it, and how hard it is to get it back. From unstoppable to uncertain, and maybe not finished yet.